Okay, now it's good. Okay, thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. So you are not your thoughts. When I heard this for the first time, I told myself, how is this even possible that you are not your thoughts? I mean, the thought arises and remains in my brain. it remains in my brain. I am the only one who knows about it. And it even talks in my own voice. So how is it that it's not who I am? So to that extent, I thought, let's go back to the absolute basic. So that's what I would like to share with you today. What is a thought? You see, we as human beings, we have 5 senses: sense of sight, sense of smell, sense of sound, touch, and taste. We are in this room. You guys are listening to me. You guys are seeing me. You guys are hearing words coming out of my mouth. Your senses is observing me. It is taking in all this information and then sending it inside your body. And inside your body, it is generating these electrical signals which is transmitting data to your brain. And your brain is trying to make a sense of what I'm talking about here. So these electrical signals that is actually moving in and around in your body, triggered by the sensory inputs, is a form of energy. So it is this energy that I would like to call is called an emotion. This signal that is going in your body is a form of energy. This energy is emotion, emotion. So I like to say energy in motion, emotion. So once we start to become aware of this energy, we start to generate what we call a feeling. So that's what a feeling is. It is the awareness of your emotion. That's what a feeling is. Now it's important. Now, unfortunately, most of us are not aware of our emotions and feelings. And I would even go far as to say that most of us don't even take out the time to become aware of them. Now it is extremely important to be aware of our feelings and emotions, because it is these feelings and emotions and the meaning that we associate to them is what generates a thought in our mind. Okay. So if you are not aware of your emotions and feelings and the thoughts that you associate with them, then your life feels like it's in autopilot. So you think what you always think, you do what you always do, and then you wonder why my life is stuck, why am I not feeling progress in my life? So you see, you are not your thoughts, right? So thoughts are just, so think of it like your sensory inputs have given you some data, and this data is triggered by external stimuli. So these are just conditioned responses to stimulus given by your sensory messages. So don't judge your thoughts. So I would say don't judge your thoughts essentially, okay? And also, I think I'm trying to forget now why I forgot my train of thought. So don't judge your thoughts, and most importantly, don't judge yourself for having these thoughts, okay? So your thoughts are just, think of it like something that is generated by your mind. It's some random things generated by your mind. It is not a part of your personality. It is not who you are, okay? So all our lives, we have been accumulating patterns of thoughts and ideas. And these patterns and thoughts and ideas are created by things that you observe, things that you hear, things somebody did to you, things somebody told you, things where people had opinion about you. So all these thoughts and patterns and ideas that you have created, it has formed a storyline, a narrative, which has acted as a backdrop to your life. So which has acted as a backdrop to your life, and we cling on to these. We cling on to these somehow, thinking that there is some objective truth to our thoughts. So if you are not your thoughts, then who are you? So I would say that You are an observer of your thoughts. Okay, you are not your thoughts, you are an observer of your thoughts. So think of thoughts as messengers of information. Okay, these are just messengers of information. So observe your thoughts. You don't need to fight them. You don't need to engage with them. You don't need to ignore them. But you still have to observe them. You accept them. You acknowledge them. Okay, accept them and acknowledge them, and find their source. Find the origin of these thoughts and use that information to tackle the underlying issue that you face in your life. So once you start observing your thoughts, you will start to notice that a lot of these unhealthy thoughts, they start to dissipate, and all the things that is important to you, that you care about, they will start to emerge. And then you can use that information to basically understand better who you are and understand better the people around you. So I would say that thoughts does not define who you are. It is the actions that you take because of these thoughts and the meaning that you associate to these thoughts. The actions that you take is what defines who you are. Now, thoughts, they are involuntary. It's like I mentioned in the beginning, you don't have control over your thoughts, but you absolutely 100% have control over your actions. You may not control your thoughts, you have 100% control over your actions. And you see, thoughts don't have consequences, but actions do. They have consequences. So it is your actions that drives your behavior, builds your character, shapes your destiny, and ultimately defines who you are. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.